When I first played this game the first time a few years ago, I came off playing it right after Jak 1, which was amazing. I loved that game. And then I started playing Jak 2, and I hated it. This didn't really feel like that much of a platformer to me. I mean, there's platforming in it, it's obviously a platformer, but it feels more like an action game. And I wanted a platformer, or whatever Jak 1 was. I wanted more of that. I got like 25% of the way through Jak 2, and then I gave up and got bored because I got angry and I ended up looking like this. After Jak 1, the devs saw that most people were growing up, and they thought that they would rather play Grand Theft Auto than their platformer. So what did they do? They decided to copy it. And holy smokes, does it copy it. However, I do personally feel like they copied it in the wrong ways. And this is what most likely contributed to me quitting, because I've never really beaten a Grand Theft Auto game. I never grew up with them either. I was a loser. I grew up playing a game where you play as a monkey, not Grand Theft Auto. But now, after 10 years, it's been 10 years, I'm going back to the game. I'm gonna give it another try. So I wonder if my opinion has changed. Have I become more of a man? It was alright. So first, let's go into more details on what I meant by for fans growing up and GTA clone. Jak 1 was a more happy-go-lucky run-around platformer where you collect stuff and you have a good time, while Jak 2 is more like, I'm gonna kill Praxis! I don't mind the tone shift that much, I think it's completely fine, but the second you walk out of the tutorial door and you're in the open world, things start to change. It feels like it's trying to be GTA, but isn't really doing a good job at that. Like it has cars, guns, and the police. See, GTA clone. The cars, for example, it just takes so long to traverse using them. You use the cars to get to the missions, which are basically the levels in the open world, but you're going to be traveling back and forth so much, it just becomes so boring. There's nothing really to do in the open world either. It's just drive to the mission. The guns, they kind of work when they work. Sometimes they don't really work. Well, I have no issues running down hallways or sniping people with them, but when there's a ton of enemies or obstacles in the way where I have to fight the camera, it's really hard to aim this thing, and it's infuriating more than intuitive. And then the police just kind of get annoying after a while. You just hit someone by accident and then they're after you, getting in your way. So with these three things together, it kind of makes a bad GTA clone. I think I might have appreciated these aspects more if I played this during the time GTA was popular, back when I was a wee little man. Because they accounted for everything GTA related in this. You have cars you can drive, you can shoot guns, you can mess with the police. This is a GTA clone. And back then, that was amazing. Now, it's just kind of empty. I think I've called this a GTA clone enough. There's already someone typing up a mad comment saying how this is nothing like GTA. So when I said missions before, there are missions in this game, and most of them are actually platforming levels, which is good, and they're pretty fun. But you constantly have to go to the same level over and over again. I was in the water pump station like 20 times. It was insane. This isn't even for this level. I've been in the forest that many times too. Like, why are you making me come back here? I will of course be honest and say going back to the levels have you sometimes go to different areas in the level, or it's a completely different mission entirely, which is fine when that happens, but sometimes it just kind of doesn't. And because of all this, when I went to replay the game, I still didn't really enjoy it that much. I could only record a small amount before I got bored and had to stop. But then, out of nowhere, something hit me, and I started to enjoy the game. But why the sudden change when I was bored for so long and the game's pretty much the same? I think it was because the levels, the missions, they kept getting better and they were a lot of fun. I had so much fun doing these. There's a lot of challenge in these missions, and I enjoyed it a lot. For the most part, why is this game so fucking hard? Who made this mission? Why would you make this mission? This mission is impossible. Why would you make the checkpoint system in this game horrible? You have to go back like 10 minutes sometimes if you mess up. Like, what is wrong with you? But other than, it was pretty fun. You also get a hoverboard, which adds to the platforming, so it's not just a Tony Hawk clone, even though it kind of is just a Tony Hawk clone. You also have the racing missions, which were really fun to do. I like them a lot, but there's only 3 of them. I wish there were more. Wait, what? So excluding the platforming, there's also other small missions to do that isn't just platforming, which adds to the game experience. The story is also really fun to watch, and it has really good animation. Seriously, the animation in these like blow some movies today out of the water. Like, how the hell did they animate them? I think if I had to guess, my main issue with the game was the GTA clone parts of it. The boring ass driving, the gunplay when it doesn't work, and the police. It was just, it just really wasn't for me, and it kind of bogged the game down because of how much you had to drive all over the place. I feel like if they toned the city down and made it a lot smaller and just made it like a hub world kind of area, I think I would have liked the game more, but I can also understand that reducing the size of the city would make the game lose its charm. The city is very charming. I don't hate the city. I like the city. The atmosphere is great here. From the open world GTA clone to the increased edginess to the skateboarding to the running from explosions, this game absolutely screams that it came from the 2000s. So if you want to relive that timeline, you can give it a shot. I'm not the boss, so you do what you want. I might continue jacking off by playing Jak 3 some other time just to see how it compares. You might get a video on that later, who knows. As after replaying it, I really did enjoy Jak 2. I did enjoy my time. Jak 1 is better.